Good morning. To state the obvious, over the weekend, with devastating storms in the south. I spoke for a couple hours with leaders yesterday affected by the hurricane, and Governor
Spoke with
Kemp of
what
Georgia,
leaders?
Governor
DeSantis?
Cooper of North Carolina, county officials in the Big Bend region of Florida, and other leaders in South Carolina and Tennessee about the broad and devastating impacts of Hurricane Helene. It's not just a catastrophic storm, it's a historic, history-making storm. The entire Southeast and Appalachia. Damage from the hurricane stretches across at least 10 states. Winds over 120 miles an hour in some places. Storm surges up to 15 feet and record flooding. Communities are devastated. Loved ones waiting, not sure if their loved ones are okay, and they can't contact them because there's no cell phone connections. Many more folks displaced with no idea when they'll be able to be returned to their home, if ever, if they're home to return to.
You
We're
sound
keeping
like hell.
we're keeping them all in our prayers, and all the lives lost, and those particularly unaccounted
There's
for. There's
his
nothing like wondering,
Coffee does
is
every
my
speech.
husband, wife, son, daughter, mother, father alive?
Always does
Many
one.
more who remain without electricity, water, food, and communications. And whose homes and businesses are washed away in an instant.
There's two.
I want them to know we're not leaving until the job is done. I also want you to know I'm committed to traveling to the impacted areas as soon as possible, but I've been told that it would be disruptive if I did it right now. We will not do that at the risk of diverting or delaying any of the response assets needed to deal with this crisis. My first responsibility is to get all the help needed to those impacted areas. And I expect to be there.
Three.
I have a cold.
Oh,
Expect to be
four.
there later this
He's
week.
got a cold.
I and my team
That's
are
not a
in
cold.
constant contact with the governors, mayors, and local leaders. The head
That's
of
the
FEMA,
haysicle
Deanne Griswold,
creeping up
is
on
on
you.
the ground now in
That's
North
the Reaper.
Carolina. She's going to stay in Asheville and Appalachia region for the foreseeable future. There's been reports of over 100 dead and consequence of this storm, and there are reports of up to 600 people unaccounted for because they can't be contacted. God willing, they're
600
alive,
people.
but there's no way to contact them again because of the lack of cell phone coverage. I've directed my team to provide every available resource as fast as possible to your communities to rescue, recover, and to begin rebuilding. In addition to FEMA, it includes the Federal Communications Commission to help establish communications capability, the National Guard, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Department of Defense are going to provide all the resources at its disposal to rescue and assist in clearing debris and delivering life-saving supplies. So far, that's over 3,600 personnel deployed. That number is growing by the day. I quickly approved requests from governors of Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, and Alabama.
He didn't speak to the
for an
governor.
emergency declaration. And I approved additional requests for the governors of North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, and for a disaster declaration to pay for debris removal, provide financial assistance directly to survivors. FEMA and the Small Business Administration are there to help the residents whose homes and businesses were literally destroyed, washed away, or blown away. And the federal search and rescue teams have been working side by side with state and local officials and partners in very treacherous conditions to find those who are missing. And they'll not rest until everyone's accounted for. I want to thank all the first responders and everyone who's been working around the clock.
Is that cough
One of the
6?
brave teams
Is it 5 or 6?
volunteered to be there from San Diego County Fire Department.
Let's just say 5.
Set
Let's
to
say
travel all the way from California to North Carolina to
I'm
help.
sure it's 6.
But on their
Let's say
way,
5.
they were in a terrible car accident in Louisiana. We pray for their full recovery, but it was a bad accident. We know there's more to do. We will continue to surge resources, including food, water,
6.
communications, and life-saving equipment.
You need motherfucking
We'll
medicine.
be there, as I said before, and I mean it, as
Jesus
long as it takes to finish
Christ.
this job. Let me close with this.
Send
As
FEMA
president,
into the White House.
I've seen firsthand the devastating toll that disasters like this take on families and communities. I've been on the ground in many disasters areas since I've been president. Excuse me, and I've heard dozens of stories from
7.
survivors about how it feels to be left with nothing, not even knowing where or when to get back on track.
7 coughs.
I'm here to tell every
Good
single
Lord.
survivor
He's in charge of
in these
us.
impacted areas that we will be there with you.
Does
as long as it
anybody,
takes.
am I,
For the sake of
Am I
yourself
the only one here?
and your
Oh.
families, I urge everyone,
you
everyone
have, a
trained in
yawn?
the communities at home,
A yawn and a cough.
listen to the local
Okay,
officials.
1,
and follow all
8.
safety instructions. Take this seriously. Please
1
be
yawn.
safe.
I mean, what time
The
is it?
nation has your back, and the
1
Biden-Harris
o'clock.
administration will be there until the job is done. God bless you
Past
all.
his bedtime.
And I'm thinking of those that are still wondering where your loved ones are. Thank you.
We need to supplemental to help
Ooh.
people in the southeast, Mr.
There's
President.
9,
Take
10.
this seriously. Please be safe.
10 and 1 yawn.
Your nation has your back, and the Biden-Harris administration will be there until the job is done. God bless you all. And I'm thinking of those that are still wondering where your loved ones are.
It is
Thank
crazy.
you.
We need to supplemental to help the people in the southeast, Mr. President.
Say again?
We need to ask Congress for a supplemental.
That's my expectation, yes.
You know, roughly how much you're thinking?
Not yet. This is a historic storm. It's devastating. They've never seen anything like this before. And some of them are back-to-back, 3 storms in a row. So it's really, really devastating.
Would you consider asking Congress to come back for a special session to pass a supplemental?
That is something I may have to request.
Not
There's
as
no
big of
decision
an
made.
entourage as Trump had in Florida when he got shot at.
Yes, I told the governor of North Carolina to go down, and I expect to be down there by Wednesday or Thursday. It would be clear for me to go. You guys have traveled with me. You know, there's an entourage. This can be disruptive.
This guy talking sounds like Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
Is that disruptive?
I don't have any idea.
On another issue, on the other side of the world in the Middle East, it's our
I'm going to
understanding.
stick with this.
Ceasefire.
What's that?
I'm going to stick with this subject, but go ahead.
Well, just the fact that Israel may be now launching a limited operation into Lebanon. Are you aware of that? Are you comfortable with their plans?
I'm
Yes or
more
no?
aware than you might know, and I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now. Thank
Mr.
you.
President,
Iran to retaliate?
Wow.
on the hurricane, Mr. President.
That's our
why weren't you
commander in
and Vice
chief.
President Harris here in
God
Washington
bless
banning
America.
this?